Recording in progress.
Hello everyone. Welcome to Oracle ERP Group. Today's topic is Transaction Account Builder. This particular topic is one of the hot topic and very important for a function consultant to be aware of. Many of my students requested me to post this particular topic on the YouTube channel because there is no other channel have this detailed presentation. So finally, today I'm making this video for you all because it's a free educational channel. This particular topic, generally trainers don't post this in the YouTube channel because it's a very important topic and they want to keep it as in the classroom training. So, but I'm happy to share you this particular session. Please feel free to post your comments if you have any questions. Okay, before we get started, I just wanted to let you know, this is a brand new channel. I'll be posting important ERP videos every week. My goal is to help you all learn key topics with clear step-by-step guides, something which other channels, it's missing in other channels. If you find my videos really helping you, please support me by subscribing. And if you have any feedback, please feel free to post your comments and responses. It really motivates me to keep making more videos. Okay, let's kick off our training. Yeah. So first, before moving on to the session, let me first set the foundation or fundamental understanding about tab setups. What is tab setup? Everyone knows it's transaction account builder, right? So it basically derives the transactional accounts like account combinations or segments for the chart of accounts. So if you have a specific chart of accounts, each segment, how it is derived. Let me open an Excel sheet. For example, if your chart of account is something like this, okay. So if you have some chart of account looks like this, and this can be your expense account or it can be your charge account, whatever. This particular account, how it is deriving, right? So that is what the fundamental benefit from the transaction account builder. In procurement world, in the P2P world, it can be used either in the purchasing module or it can be an intercompany module as well. So this particular setup, with respect to the procurement area, it ultimately derives three different accounts: charge account, variance account, and accrual account. These are the accounts which are delivered during the procurement transactions. When you create a PO or requisition, this particular accounts will get generated. So in EBS, everyone knows how Oracle Workflow Builder runs, right? It generates the account. It derives basically the account, right? It replaces in the Oracle Fusion. So what do you need as a prerequisites? So initially, you must have the setup and maintenance privileges and data access for your respective BUs. For example, if you work for a US business, US1 business unit, make sure that you have the necessary data access. And of course, COA setups should be valid. Otherwise, like you cannot design these setups in your environment, right? So ideally, COA setups is one of the key setups. Of course, financial setups and procurement foundations, everything should be available. Yeah, so these are the things you have to make sure before you start your setups. And the end results of the tab, what you're getting finally, as I told you in the beginning, charge account, variance account, and accrual account, these three accounts are the ultimate derivation from the from this tab setup, right? So these particular accounts where it is available, it is in your purchase order screen. If you take any purchase order, let me go to purchase order. Okay. If you go to the purchase order, you can see the accounts. Let me add all the accounts. Yeah. So now let me show you this. Yeah. If you see that PO charge account, PO variance account, and accrual account, all these accounts are generated in a purchase order, right? So all these accounts are generated with the help of So this is what we are going to see, how this particular tab is going to help you deriving these accounts. Ultimately, we have a destination charge account and destination variance account as well, but these are optional, and these are specifically for this is the charge account for the destination organization. For example, whatever the destination organization is there, their charge account we have to define. And similarly, variance account. You know variance account, right? Like what is the difference between the purchase order amount and the invoice amount? All these amounts are tracked in the variance account. And similarly, this is for the destination variance account. And charge account, everyone knows what is the actual cost of a purchase. Everything is tracked in the charge account, and the accrual account is nothing but your expense account. Whatever the temporary amount before the invoice is received or paid, all the amounts are generally stored in the account. So all these accounts are very, very important. So this is what we deriving in the purchase order or even the requisition, whatever. In this case, we are going to talk about purchase order. Okay. So what are the important setups you have to understand about it? One is account rules. Account rule is nothing but how are you going to derive the accounts? So similarly in financials, tables and all, FAH and all, we have account derivation rules, right? Similarly, we have account rules here. This is the one I ideally derive the accounts. I can say this is the heart of the tab setup. So this is the one ideally defined which account to be sit in this particular segment, which account to be sit in this segment, etc. And this particular setup optionally may not. This particular setup required. In some cases, like if you want to map a value from 100, if it is like sources like 101 or something like you want to derive from 10 to 100 or whatever it is, the mapping set will help you to convert these values. And once the account rule is defined, then we have to attach it with the transaction account definition. And post that, the transaction account definition. The transaction account definition is nothing but this is also again one of the setup in the setup and maintenance. This particular setup contains this is the place where you going to connect the transaction account types. Ideally, all the account types along with the account rules. Everything you tie together in this transaction account definition. Finally, once a definition is created, we will attach into the ledger. So these three setups are you should remember when you're doing the tab setups. So the fundamentally how it looks is that the transaction account definition is the topmost hierarchy, and below it it contains the transaction account types. There is nothing but your charge account, accrual account, variance account, the mandatory accounts, and the optional destination charge and destination variance account. Optional means you have to provide the accounts. Of course, you cannot ignore it. But these are the three generally we derive. And below we have account combination and segment overlay rule. And under the account combination rule, we have different value sets. One is like source, mapping set, account combination, and even one more is there, constant. So I'll show you all these things in the setups so you can understand better. Let me go to the. So this is one of the purchase order, right? So let's keep it as it is. So first, what we're going to do is, first, let's plan what really we need for the tab setups, right? So as I told you, okay, let's take an example. So let's say this is like company, and this is department, and this is LOB, and let's say this is future segment or whatever. So I have, let's say like I have majorly 4 segment I have for the COA. If I want to, okay, I missed, sorry, I missed the important segment, account segment itself, I missed out, account. Let's keep it as account and let it be future one. Okay. Okay. So in this structure, let's say like if I want to derive 100 company segment and account, what I have to do? So, so I need to define a specific rules, right? So let's say like I am defining a mapping set 1. So this mapping set, let's say like Guru, PO, PO account, account. Let's keep it in the cap. Guru, PO account, map set. Okay, we need one mapping set for company and one for account, right? I defined one more. Let me put like mapping set to. So let's keep this for account and this keep for company. Okay. So I have two accounts now defined. So what else we need? We need again account rules also, right? So what are the account rules we need? We need one for accrual and one for charge account and one for company account, right? As I told you, these three: charge account, variance account, and accrual account. So all these three things we need. So what I can do, I'll define account rules. Account rules. So I can keep it as guru underscore PO underscore approval rule. Let's keep it as simple. Account rule 1 and account rule 2 and 3 we need. Account rule 2 and account rule 3. So let's keep it as accrual charge. We need a charge account, right? We need charge account and we need one more. What? It's called variance account. Okay, I'm just keeping it as 3 different accounts. I mean, 3 different rules. Okay, so what else we need? Now we need to define this mapping set in the mapping set setup. Let me go to the mapping set. Okay, we need to go to the procurement. So this is a procurement function, right? So let me go to the procurement. So if you go to the procurement, you can see that the procurement transaction account rule. So this is a heart of the account derivation area. If you see that everything you can see, what is the Subledger application you have, what is the Subledger application options, sources, user-defined formulas, mapping sets, everything we have. And this is the order you have to remember. So first mapping sets you have to define. So as I told you, mapping sets and the next account rules. And once it is done, transaction account types, nothing you're going to do. This is like it's a seeded account types. Let me show you. So accrual account, charge account, destination variance account, everything defined by Oracle. If you see that, you cannot define anything by your own. Okay. And you have to, when you are defining these accounts, you can go inside and I'll show you that in the coming slides, coming setups. So first you understand mapping set is first setup, but this is ideally an optional setup because if you derive everything, if you want to keep everything in the account level itself, that also sufficient. So in this case, I'm just showing you mapping setup also, how it is helping you. And so once it is done, we have to attach with the TAT setup and finally tying up with the Subledger accounting option. So this is the flow you have to remember. And these and all sources are nothing. The other setups and all, nothing you're going to do. These and all seeded values only. So if you see these things, this is nothing but your procurement attributes. Whatever there in the procurement, everything will be there. Let's say like amount, everything will be there. Whatever you see in the purchase order, you can see everything here as well. So this is nothing but your purchasing screen attributes. So these are the attributes which is going to help you to derive values. Okay. So let's quickly go to the manage mapping sets. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to define two different mapping sets. So I already defined the names, right? Let's take Guru. And so what I'm going to do, I'm going to, this is a mapping set, right? So in this case, I'm going to keep the value as segment level because I'm going to derive just this company segment, right? So I'm going to keep it as segment. Then what else? We have to derive the input sources. So here I'm keeping it as purchasing. Let's do one thing. Let's blindly click a search. So it will give all the procurement related sources. So what are the sources based on the values? You have to derive the values. Everything it will come. So if you're not able to remember, you just blindly you can search. So in this case, what I'm going to do, we are going to derive the company segment, right? So company we can derive with the procurement business unit. Let's say PROC. Okay, we have procurement business unit. I'm going to select this apply. Okay. So now, so the procurement business unit is selected, and yeah, okay, everything looks good. And chart of account, I'm going to say US1, sorry, US chart of accounts, and say you have to say what is the segment. This is the company segment, right? I'm marking it as company, and here you need to say what is the value you are expecting for the input value. So in our case, our value is going to be US1 business unit. If it is a US1 business unit and the value I'm expecting, or if you want, you can click the drop down. You can see all the numbers. So in my case, I'm going to click 101 company. Okay. Let me save this. Save and create another. We are going to create one more for account segment. Okay. Let me create this as well. Account. And then it should not be combination. You remember, we are going with a segment level, right? So segment and let's put the inputs. Let's put like ship. Okay, we have ship to organization for acquisitions, purchase orders. I'm going to pick this one and apply. Okay. And we have to pick the chart of accounts, right? Again, US chart of accounts, US chart of accounts. And segment is account and mapping. So what is the mapping you're going to give? So this is nothing but your location. So what is the location you want to give? Let's take like any location. I know there are in US like lot of states are there. I'm going to pick Seattle. So in your case, if you're not sure what is the location you have to do one thing. Take your existing purchase orders and see what is the location. I'll show you. In my case, I know I have few purchase orders. So one of the location I can see is ship to location is Seattle. In your case, if you're not sure, blindly open any purchase orders in your system and see what are the locations you're using for testing purpose and use this particular location. So you can able to see this. So in my case, I'm taking this and this must be any numbers. So I can give 11,200 or whatever. Okay, so this is done. So this is accounting segment. Okay. Okay. So we are done with this company segment also. So now we completed with the mapping sets. Next, we'll go with next setup. That is account rules. So in this account rule, what are the rule we need to create? On high level, this 5 rules, right? Other than we need 2 more rules for to utilize this particular account. Let me show you. So first, let me define. Okay, let me go to that set. Okay, so first, let me take Guru PO accrual rule. Sorry, accrual rule. So this particular rule we can use for the setup. I'm giving the name, short name, and yeah, we need chart of accounts. So chart of accounts, we know it's US. Let me search US chart of accounts.
Recording in progress.
And once the account combination has been selected, you have to make sure that the value type is constant, because we are not going to derive the segment by segment values, right? The entire um, chart of account we are going to derive, because we say like the rule type is account combination, right? So I'll keep it as account. And what is the value we have to derive for accrual? So in generally, client will provide what is the accrual rule to generate. In this case, I'll pick some accrual account from here. Okay, I'll keep this value. For testing purpose, we can change some values. Okay, so this is my accrual account. Okay, so I'll keep it the account number as I'll keep it as accounts payable. I'll keep it as 210 for a different testing. Accrual account is done, and conditions and all not required, so that it will be applicable for every. If you put condition, it will be applicable for certain conditions. But I am not keeping condition because I want to make sure that this particular accrual account should applicable for all the scenarios. Save and close. Okay, let me add one more other accounts as well. So this is there, and we have charge account also, right? Let me put a charge account. And US chart of accounts. And again, the rule type would be combination, and rules would be. So let's copy this combination also. For this is for charge account, right? Yeah. So I'm keeping this value as oh, okay, by default account type came. Let me delete this. Let me delete one more. Okay, let me select this line, and let's change the account rule to constant and put the value as this. And let's change the account again for testing. So let's change this value from 04 to 1000. Okay. So we are good. Let's copy this value on the template. This is the charge account we used, and accrual account we used this value accrual, and I think we put 200 and 110. Okay, and we need the variance account. And variance account, let's copy these values and keep it in the slide. And yeah, let's copy this value. And let's go back to the account rules. And let's save this first. And okay, first we need the names. Variance, oh sorry. Variance, chart of account. US. Use chart of accounts. And yeah, account combination. Constant. And we need this particular number. Let's change here itself. 11. Okay. Okay, that number is not existing. Okay, that's okay. Let's keep the same value. Save. Okay. We need. So what we did so far is we did only for the rule. So to use these values into the ideally we need to tie up everything in the transaction account definition, right? So to refer these particular values, again we need to create as a accounting rule. Account rule for this ideally optional, ideally not required. So if you want, you can keep it like this, and you can define this mapping sets also here. And because we can override this value, this accounts with into this values. For example, okay, let me go back. Let me cancel this, and let's. So we have done this setups, right? So now what we can do is once account rule setup is done, let me keep this screen if you want. So what I'm telling you is, let me go to the main setup, transaction accounting definition. So here, again, let's go to the tab setup first. So here we have transaction account types. We already, this account rule we already defined. So let's go to the transaction account types and show you what is there. So accrual account is there. Let me go inside. So, so here we have all the account types, project costing, purchase. So everything is already a seeded one. So we are not going to touch this. So let's quickly go to the transaction. See all these things you can see in the transaction account definition. So let me go to this particular area. So this is the place we are going to define our major setup. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give some name for the TAD setup. So add. So I'm going to say guru score PU. No, sorry, this is like I can keep like I can keep anything like simply we can keep like some TAD setup for this the project whatever you work. Let me keep PO or okay, PO tab default account. Let's put like this. Okay, so now we have defined our tab name. So in your project, you can put like your client name or whatever underscore tab definition default or whatever. So I'm going to keep. We know what is our setup, right? Chart of accounts, and so So here I'm going to choose my accrual account. So my accrual account is Guru. This is for accrual account, and this is for the charge account. Sorry, Guru. Okay, it came anyway. Let me charge account. And this is, as I told you, this is like a default one we can use. We are not defined anything. This we can use some default charge account. Destination charge we can take. So this particular account or nothing but your default seeded account. So we are using the same. Similarly, we have one more for purchasing default. Purchasing charge or okay, destination. We can destination variance. Okay, destination variance. Let me put like okay. By default, it came variance, and this variance we already know. This is our default we derived variance. So I'm selected this particular value also. And what is this particular segment? So this is a segment I was talking about. If you want to add a mapping set, this particular mapping set, for example, as I told you, if this particular account chart of account is derived with the help of this particular combination, so this combination, what it is going to derive, this accrual account is going to derive this particular number, right? On top of that, if you want to override any values for a company, this is for company, right? In case if I want to specifically derive any value, any specific values, for example, 101 company should be go to the 102 company, then this particular mapping set tied up with this particular account rule is going to help you. If you define that particular account rule, then you can pick it from here. Okay, so just make the concept simpler. I'm not going to add further account rules. So let me save this. Okay, let's copy this particular thing. So in this case, like wherever you want company account or a company segment or account segment, everything you need to define, and the same you can derive wherever the segment is applicable. So in my case, let's say we define we defined one company, right? One company. So what we can do is that particular company, if you derive it as an account, that you have to map it here in all the segments. And if you define only one account rule, then you can define, like if it is a liability account, then you can select it here. And the other accounts like charge account and variance, if you don't want to default anything, you can ignore it. That's it. So right now we defined all the accounts. So let me save this. Let me activate this. So once you save this, you have to activate the account. So now I'm going to activate this. So account got activated. The activation process has been completed. If it is any error, then it will clearly show that activation, the tag error, it will clearly show you what is the problem with your configuration. So in our case, everything is perfect. So let me close this. Okay, let me tab. So we need this particular name, and we have to go to the Subledger accounting options. So in our case, we know our ledger is US ledger, right? US primary ledger. Okay. So this particular primary ledger, let's search. And we had to go to the purchasing application. So our application is purchasing. So in your case, if the application is payables or project costing or receivables, whatever it is, you can choose accordingly. So this particular setup is common. Subledger accounting option is common for financials or projects or payroll, everything. So in my case, I'm going to go for the purchasing. So purchasing. So what do we need? We need okay. We need this particular setup to be our guru, right? So our guru is populated already. So as soon as I enter, my tag recognizes name and it populated. Okay. So rest everything you are not going to touch. So in this case, this is applicable for purchase order, requisition, and if you want any change orders, anything, you can define it here. Okay. Let me save this. Okay. So my accounting option also saved. So once this particular tag setup is completed, now we are good to create a purchase order. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let me create one purchase orders. Go to purchase orders. We have to create the purchase order, whichever the setup you have completed. So in our case, we completed for the US1 business unit. So let's make sure that we are creating for the US1 business unit. Okay, it's a different one. Let's change it to the US1. Okay, it will automatically change. Okay. Now, yeah, everything looks fine. The location is Seattle. So this is what more important. If the location is different, the account will not generate as expected. So this is for our company and this is for our Seattle, everything we derived. Yeah, in our case, we did not use this particular setup, right? Like mapping on mapping to. So it doesn't matter. So ideally, even though it's a different location, it doesn't matter. It will generate this particular location. In case if I am doing it for account segment, anything to convert from here, then probably the Seattle will help. So in our case, so whatever these accounts we derived and mapped it to the ledger, right? Because of that, this account, sorry, this particular accounts has to be popular. Let's see how it works. Okay, let me add the items. So in the screen, let's type as 3B. I'll keep this as goods. This category, let's put like a laptop. Okay, I think laptop is not there. Laptop. Okay, laptops. And quantity, let's say 10 and EA and base price is 100. Okay. The location is the default location. It populated. Okay. And supplier we need. We need a supplier, let's say like lease suppliers. Okay, make sure all the data has been filled. Let me save this. So as soon as you save, since we already have all the line level details, so distribution should contain all the charge accounts. Let me go to the distributions. Okay, so let's cross check whether these accounts has been defined derived as per our Okay, this is matching 210. This is matching. And this is 1105. And this is 52111. 52111. 52111 is not appeared. Let me go back. What is our account? Our account is Guru, right? Guru. Okay. So as per the setup, accrual rule is working fine. Charge is working fine, and variance is not working, right? Let me go back to the variance account. Oh, okay. So this is the variance account. So it was not 52111. It's 52110. Sorry, 110. Let me go back to the purchase order. Okay, so it's perfect. So our tab setup working perfectly, 52110, and everything has been derived accordingly. So this is how the tab setup is working.
Let me give you one more troubleshooting tips. Whenever you face this issue, workflow failed, it is because the tab setup have some issues. If you remember last time I was doing purchase order import, right? When I was trying to import the purchase orders, the system trying to generate an account. At the time, what happened? The tab setup was not configured properly. This setup was totally wrong. This is nothing but our Subledger accounting options, which is coming under purchasing transaction accounts under the setup and maintenance. So this setup, if it goes wrong, ideally you will get this error, workflow failed. So next time, if you face any issues with this particular message, please go and try this. Please verify this tab setup. That's it. You're all good with that tab setup. Please let me know if you have any questions. Please post your questions on the comments. People who are coming here for the first time, I'm telling you, every week I am posting some interesting topics. So whoever not subscribing to my channel, please subscribe and click bell icon so that you can see all my interesting videos every week. Thank you so much. See you all next week. Goodbye.